Indiana Fever waived Kyra Maxwell.
Thank you for your service, Kyra Lambert. Thank you so much.
Like Caitlin Clark could be returning this week after all.
Indiana Fever have officially released Kyra Lambert, a guard from overseas who Stephanie White signed on a trust me bro recommendation.
According to the WNBA transactions page, the Indiana Fever released Kyra Lambert.
Caitlin Clark return is sooner rather than later.
Breaking news out of Indiana. The Fever have officially cut the most pointless signing on their roster, and fans are convinced this clears the path for Caitlin Clark's long-awaited return. Comment 100% if you stand with Clark, because the countdown to her comeback may have just begun.
According to the WNBA transactions page, the Indiana Fever released Kyra Lambert. So if that is indeed the end of Kyra Lambert's Indiana Fever tenure, it did not last very long. It was just last week we were figuring out who Kyra Lambert was and what her signing meant for the team.
The Indiana Fever just made the move fans had been waiting for. They released Kyra Lambert, a player whose short time with the team is being called one of the most pointless signings in recent memory.
Kyra Lambert. They didn't even give Kyra Lambert a page on the WNBA website. I'm not joking. Like, you type in WNBA.com and you look at the Fever's last game. Maybe they updated it because she actually saw the floor. Fever versus Connecticut. Kyra Lambert played a grand total of 4 seconds.
Lambert was signed on a short-term contract, but she barely saw the floor. In fact, across 2 games, she played a grand total of just 4 seconds. That's right, not 4 minutes, but 4 seconds of game time.
The team needed wing depth. Madison Scott was available and you chose Kyra Lambert instead. Madison Scott's playing good minutes for the Dallas or for the Washington Mystics. There are wings available. Like, at this stage in the year, you can make the argument that they lost the Washington Mystics game because they went to sign a player who had no right to be, like, not no right, who had no reasoning to be at the WNBA level.
Fans instantly questioned why she was even signed in the first place. The Fever needed depth at the wing after Sophie Cunningham went down, but instead of finding a capable scorer or rebounder, the front office brought in Lambert, a guard who never looked like a real fit at this level.
Kyra Lambert doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. She doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. Like, what are we doing? I know she played for Olympiacos. Like, the Indiana Fever, I kid you not, the Fever themselves didn't even get, in their Fever signed Kyra Lambert to a 7-day post, they didn't even get it correct. They put the wrong points per game average. They couldn't even find their points per game.
Her overseas stats were average at best, and the Fever even posted incorrect numbers about her when announcing the signing. They literally overstated her performance.
They said she averaged 15.4 points per game. She averaged 8.2 points per game. They said she shot 42% from beyond the arc. She shot 20% from beyond the arc. They say she was named Euro Cup Guard of the Year. Yeah, like 2 years ago.
It was sloppy, desperate, and fans knew it.
So the Indiana Fever waived Kyra Maxwell, and she didn't even get a thank you post. She didn't even get a thank you post from the Indiana Fever. They didn't even get a thank you, Kyra Maxwell. Didn't get a thank you post.
The most telling part, when the Fever announced her release, they didn't even bother with a thank you post. No appreciation, no farewell graphic, just gone. That silence spoke volumes.
The fact that across 2 games, she got literally minus 1 minute told me she wasn't going to work out. They used her in practice and wasn't a good fit.
For many, it confirmed what they already believed. Lambert was never a serious option for this roster. She was simply a stopgap, someone to fill a uniform temporarily, and now she's out.
A lot of people are celebrating this because they think that Caitlin Clark's coming back. They think that this means Caitlin Clark coming back and it means it's almost time.
This cut has fans celebrating, not because of Lambert herself, but because of what it represents. It shows the Fever are done wasting time on players who don't move the needle. And most importantly, it opens the door for the return of the player who truly does, Caitlin Clark.
The first thing that came to a lot of people's mind was, could this pave the way for Caitlin Clark's return?
Now let's get into why this roster cut has fans buzzing with excitement. Because it's not just about removing a player who didn't belong. It's about what this decision signals for Caitlin Clark's return.
Under the hardship rules, as that it has been, put out there and publicized, the Fever only had to release one of the 2 players between Odyssey Sims and Kyra Lambert once Caitlin Clark was back. But one of them was going to have to go once they picked up 2 players. Clearly, Odyssey Sims has played herself into more of a role for the Fever.
Here's the reality. Under WNBA hardship rules, once Clark was healthy enough to rejoin the active roster, the Fever were forced to make a choice.
The fact that across 2 games, she got literally minus 1 minute told me she wasn't going to work out. They used her in practice and wasn't a good fit. On to the next. I don't think this actually correlates to CeCe's return.
They couldn't keep both hardship players they had added during her absence. Odyssey Sims and Kira Lambert were essentially competing for survival, and it wasn't even close.
Sims has played herself into more of a role for the Fever. She got a bunch of minutes in the game on Sunday, 42 minutes for Sims. Lambert didn't play, right? So
Sims has played meaningful minutes, shown she can still contribute at this level, and proved her value in clutch situations. Lambert, on the other hand, barely touched the floor. That made her the obvious cut, and now she's gone.
They signed her and they were able to get rid of her now because they're not playing in any games for 4 days. That's my assumption. My assumption is that the Indiana Fever have a big spell, well, a big break, and that there's no point in keeping her under contract because they weren't going to re-sign her for a second 7 day.
The timing of this move matters too. Caitlin didn't travel with the Fever during their last road trip, and the team explained it as part of her rehab ramp-up. She's been staying back, working on conditioning, building strength, and preparing for game action.
it was reported on the ESPN broadcast that Clark, the hope was she would return to practice this week with target dates the 22nd, 24th, 26th, those games being thrown out as potential return dates.
The buzz around Caitlin Clark's comeback isn't just about getting another player back on the floor. It's about bringing back the player who defines this franchise and arguably the entire WNBA right now.
That's the kind of win, if I'm CC, that I watch and say, I got to get back out there. Like, nothing can stop me from rejoining this team this season. That fight that they showed out on the court.
Her absence has been felt everywhere. The Fever's offense has lacked consistency. The team's energy hasn't been the same. And even the league as a whole has been quieter without her nightly highlights dominating social media.
Saying Caitlin's coming back. I think Caitlin's coming back this season. I would be shocked if she doesn't at this stage.
That's why this roster move feels like a turning point. Because with Clark back, everything changes.
So the rankings has been released. So as you guys can see here, the Fever is currently moved back to 6th. They had dropped over the weekend to 7th, but they moved back to 6th, which lead me to believe Caitlin Clark
First, let's talk about the Fever. Without Caitlin, Indiana has been forced to scrape by, relying heavily on Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and whoever could step up on any given night.
Let her take her time. They're doing fine without her right now. They're surviving. Let it keep going that way and let her get all the rest she needs, because we're going to need Caitlin Clark big time in the playoffs.
They've managed to survive, but just barely. The standings tell the story. Sitting in the middle of the playoff picture, clinging to 6th place, and trying to build momentum before the postseason.
That's the kind of win, if I'm CC, that I watch and say, I got to get back out there. Like, nothing can stop me from rejoining this team this season. That fight that they showed out on the court.
But survival isn't enough for this team. With Clark running the show, Indiana's offense opens up in a way no other player can provide. Her deep shooting stretches defenses, her passing makes teammates better, and her leadership brings confidence when it matters most. She doesn't just fill a stat sheet, she transforms the Fever into a real threat.
I think this is telling us Caitlin Clark's coming back. It ain't too many people left they could sign, bro. It ain't too many people left that they could sign. I ain't gonna hold you. Not too many people left on the market, bro.
Then there's the bigger picture. The playoffs are around the corner, and everyone knows postseason basketball is a different beast. The physicality rises, the scouting tightens, and every possession counts. Bringing Caitlin back right before the playoffs is crucial because she needs real game reps to get her rhythm back.
I don't think she should come back against the Lynx, bro. That's just me. That's a tough game. It's going to be putting a lot of pressure on her. Maybe come back Seattle. Sparks even going to be a tough one. Really, the next couple ones going to be a tough one. I ain't going to hold you.
You can't expect someone to walk cold into playoff intensity after weeks off. That's why fans and analysts agree. 2 or 3 regular season games to ramp up is the sweet spot. Enough time for her to shake off the rust Not too much time to risk aggravating anything. And let's not forget Sophie Cunningham's injury situation.
The Indiana Fever have been playing through the 2025 season under head coach Stephanie White. Indiana is led by Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie Cunningham, and several other stars.
With her future this season uncertain, the Fever lose not only a starter, but also a key emotional spark. That makes Clark's presence even more important. She's not just filling a gap.
The Fever guard signed a hardship contract with Indiana and wound up getting released just days later. After not seeing any time on the floor in their most recent matchup, she was cut.
She's stepping in as the leader, the engine, and the player who can keep this team's spirit alive. In moments where games feel like they're slipping away, she's the one who can turn the tide with a single shot or a perfectly timed assist.
I did say when she went down and this period of time started to get longer and longer and longer and longer, by the time she's cleared, if we're in a playoff spot, let's bring her back.
The excitement goes beyond Indiana too. Across the league, arenas have been packed every time Clark plays, ticket prices skyrocket when she's in town, and TV ratings spike when she's on the floor. Her return isn't just a boost for the Fever, it's a jolt for the entire WNBA.
So a possible patella dislocation. Those are the diagnoses he runs through there, or potential ones. I will link his video in the description for anybody who wants to watch the entire thing.
It's the kind of story that grabs national attention and puts even more eyes on the league right when the playoff race heats up. So make no mistake, Kira Lambert's release may look like a small roster adjustment on paper, but in reality, it signals something much bigger. It signals that the Fever are ready to bring back their superstar.
It could be, man. We'll see. We'll see. This could absolutely be the return. But we see that people are excited. People are jovial about what's going on with Caitlin Clark, what's going on with this roster.
The player who moves the needle like no one else. Caitlin Clark's return means hope. It means excitement. And it means that the Indiana Fever are about to step into the playoffs with the face of the league leading the charge.
That's the likely scenario, is that they're signing. A lot of people think it's because of Caitlin Clark. They're likely signing a Sophie Cunningham replacement today. And I understand with the way the hardships work, but I don't know exactly if they have to get rid of Kyra Lambert because she's not on a hardship.
The message is clear. The Indiana Fever are done wasting time, and the release of Kira Lambert proves it. This move has fans convinced that Caitlin Clark's return is no longer just a rumor. It's real, it's close, and it could flip the entire playoff picture on its head.
The Indiana Fever waived Kyra Maxwell.
Thank you for your service, Kyra Lambert. Thank you so much.
Like Caitlin Clark could be returning this week after all.
Indiana Fever have officially released Kyra Lambert, a guard from overseas who Stephanie White signed on a trust me bro recommendation.
Caitlin Clark return is sooner rather than later.
Caitlin isn't just coming back to play. She's coming back to take over. She's the difference between a team hanging on and a team ready to shock the league. The Fever know it, the fans know it, and deep down, every rival team knows it too. So buckle up, because the countdown to Caitlin Clark's comeback has officially begun. If you believe she's about to light up the league once again, drop a 100% in the comments and let the world know you stand with Caitlin Clark.